Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are preparing here for Game 2 in the ESL Go4Heroes Americas Cup number 13 Finals. Give me some spam of the Barrel Boys. They're leading up 1-0 over this newly minted Canadian team, the Happy Faerie Dragons. Thoughts on the last matchup, Mr. Messiah?
Overall, Barrel Boys definitely, they dominated that game. Just from positioning to temples to getting their 10s first to, temples throughout the game, positionings on the map, taking mercenaries. Barrel Boys definitely had the upper hand on that map, but I still have hope for the newcomer. I still see Happy Faerie Dragons. I wish them best, and I'm looking forward to how they draft.
Well, the draft is underway. We're going to Dragonshire, a very favored map of the Happy Faerie Dragons. Not only because of their name, but when I casted them in the Heroes Hype Amateur League, we literally, out of 2 best of 3s, I think 4 times, we went to Dragonshire. They have some fantastic strategies here, so we'll have to see if they can employ them and look for a win. Coming out of this, though, Happy Faerie Dragons, first pick, first ban. It's going to be a Rhaegar once more and the Sergeant Hammer for the pure repeat. And it's almost like deja vu here, Messiah. Uther for the first pick into Vala Tassadar.
It's just, is this the first game again?
This game? You're right, yeah.
It's just like a mirror. Yeah, Barrel Boys again with the Vala and the Tassadar. Again, Tass, great pick for Vala, Shields, and for whoever else they end up picking in this draft. Happy Faerie Dragons going with that solid Uther pick. I wonder how the draft's going to go this time again.
Well, if it's going to repeat, we're about to see an Illidan Malfurion. For sure, though, the Illidan has been taken, and instead of going for that AoE heal, they are going to solidify their frontline diving buddy of Mr. ETC. Now, in the games that they had where they faced off against Evil Geniuses on this map, they had this exact comp almost to the man. We're going to have to see what Barrel Boys are going to respond with, but this is the Happy Faerie Dragon Jam right here.
And since Happy Faerie Dragons ended up taking ETC over Barrel Boys, I wonder who they're going to end up picking. The last couple of matches we saw, that was their main 3, Vala, Tassadar, and ETC. So I'm wondering, who are they going to pick? Are they going to still go with damage? Are they going to go with a tank role? I wonder who they're going to pick.
It's really up in the air, and right now the pool time is starting to actually tick away. Barrel Boys last time, they did take the ETC at this stage with a Nazebo, and the Nazebo is actually still on the board. Barrel Boys are definitely very comfortable with that. If they want to go for the snipe here, though, I would say a Tyrande to be joining in on that. The Hunter's Mark, the stuns coming out, the Starfall, really good AoE, but they're not confident with that, and they are actually going to solidify not with the ETC, because it was picked, but the Stitches into the Nazebo this time.
So with the Stitches and Nazebo pick, this makes it a safe cushion for Nazebo, I'm going to say. Happy Faerie Dragons can't get that hook that they want. They can't get that stun down. I mean, of course, we have Uther on Happy Faerie Dragons and ETC, but, Nazebo's not going to be standing anywhere close. So I'm wondering who they're going to counter this with.
Well, who else is a great diving buddy? We still got the Malfurion up for the Tranquility. Some really good heals, the Healing Ward to come out of that as well. And as I said, Tyrande goes actually really good against and with the Illidan. It's kind of weird how the 3 Universe Warcraft heroes in their love triangle actually synergize so very well in some of this. So, it's definitely a possibility, but we do lack a backline damage here from the Happy Faerie Dragons. They took Zagara last round. I'm not too sure they're super confident with it this time, but, we've been seeing more and more Tychus, more and more Jaina. Falsteads have been coming back a little bit. So they need some kind of big backline damage, somebody ranged, and not entirely too sure who's going to be on the docket.
Well, as of right now, they do pick Happy Faerie Dragons. They do pick up Malfurion. Going into their pick time at the moment, I want to see what their last would be. I mean, they could use a solid stun right now for Nazebo. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Tyrande. I'm going to see who they pick. Oh, we ended up picking the Tychus.
So it is going to be a Tychus. So one of the more old school back end damages, and you know, there's going to be a lot of focus on the front end, the front line here from the Dragons because they got the Uther to go in, keeping up the not the mouth, the Illidan as well as the ETC. That's a lot of front end focus. That should be able to create some space here for our Tychus player because we don't really have anybody else on Barrel Boys for those dives. I mean, their only big melee here is actually Stitches. So we're in a little bit of a situation here for the Barrels because they need a healer. They can still go for the Lily again. It worked out fantastically for them in game 1. But what kind of interrupts do we even have to worry about? It's really just the Uther, the ETC, and the Tychus. So you know what? Maybe not Lily after all that.
I don't think she's going to get picked. From just thinking what maybe I would pick would be, maybe Brightwing in this situation. But as their time goes down here, I'm just wondering what they're actually going to end up picking up here.
It will actually be the cup bearer herself. Get a cup bearer. Cup. That was like a Sham 2 level fun. Little shameless. Just made it up. Although, who knows? Either way, there's a lot of stuns to be kind of avoiding here for that lady. Worked out great game number 1. We'll have to see if it serves them justice here in game number 2 as the players are going to be readying up. Place your bets, guys. This is a 1-0 right now for the Barrel Boys. They're the favorites going in. They're the monsters going into this. It's going to come down to the Happy Fairy Dragons to tie this up, or they will duck down to second place. And, I believe this is a Canadian team, and I am here in great, cold, terrible Toronto. I believe in my fellow kinsmen here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what Happy Fairy Dragons can do. We always like seeing newcomers into the scene, and but chat's all for the Barrel Boys. So let's amp it up and see how they do.
It's not a surprise. As I said, they got the fan base. They've been around the scene for a while. They've done some amazing things, and here they are at match point, looking for $100 in their pocket. It's a great little compensation for a few hours on stream, and at the same time, it gets them those seeding points, which is very important because in the ESL majors, of course, they are looking for something like a $2,500 prize for going to first place by the end of it all. So that's where some of the big money is. And there it is.
It looks like, we're going into it.
All right, guys, the bets are now off. Hopefully you put yourself in a winning position here, gain a little bit of street cred, but Dragonshire, as I said, is the Happy Fairy Dragon Jam. I don't think I've personally seen them lose on this map. So let's hope that the Jester Curse isn't nearly as powerful as Artosis is. And we're going to have ourselves a good game.
So I'll go over the blue side here again, just to let everyone know. All right, so we have the Happy Fairy Dragons on the blue side. We have Don Lu on ETC, Srey on Illidan. We have Inkling on Uther. We have Panda Jigu on Malfurion, and Caution Luck on that very beautiful Tychus skin.
Beautiful is, I suppose, in the eye.
Might not be that word.
Eye of the beholder.
Evil looking would be a better word.
Sure, I'll go with that. Flip side, though, these are the guys that everyone knows and loves on the Money Pig, no less. Erho going up to the top. Blinks, Trummel, McIntyre, and Kiyonda putting up a 4-man stack here mid. Looks like some creep blocking. Going to be heading out into this mid. The Fairy Dragons are going to be trying to bring it closer to home, and both of them so far actually putting 4 mid. We have our own blocks kind of coming out, though, from Trummel. Look at that. They're saying, all right, nobody's out here. They're clearly doing some blocking of their own. And, I talk to Shane about this one all the time. For the effort versus the reward, is it worth doing that, Messiah?
In my opinion, I don't think so. I mean, I think it all equals out anyways. I mean, it's good. They're going to get both waves, so it's not really a huge factor in my opinion.
Now we do have a 4-man roam going between mid and bottom. It's likely to stay, that way for 2 or 3 more waves. I wouldn't expect it to kind of actually duck out past that. But double support bottom, it's not going to be the part lane yet. Srey is actually going to be the guy to kind of go down into that. Usually I would have suggested a Tychus instead of an Illidan, but between the 3 of them, nobody should die anytime soon.
No, and as you can see, Barrel Boy's just going from bottom to mid, just rotating back and forth, putting some pressure, clearing waves. And as you can see here now, Barrel Boy's with the bottom shrine captured.
Down with Canada, up with barrels. Racco, you silly guy. You're a funny guy. All right, so top shrine is going to go the way of red, but Erho is doing this dual thing here with Don Lu, and Cotton Luck with the positioning comes in. That's going to be the first blood on top of the abomination, and that should actually now be both shrines going flipping over to blue. Kionda, however, will have words to say about that. Nobody here is to pick up the dragon anyways, and we're going to be playing a little bit of do-si-do between them.
Yeah, Kionda down in bottom, just shutting down the lane, making sure that Barrel Boys has the capture on it. And now this phase is just back to laning, clearing the minion waves and just going from there. I'm looking forward to see who's going to be transitioning into what lane to sort of take those shrines and get that DK.
There's nobody mid right now. Cotton Luck, Trummel realizes, oh damn, okay, somebody got it. Yeah, Trummel was like, whew.
That was a close one, yeah.
Yeah, that could have been, had we had a little bit better timing there from the Tychus. Was he on his mount at the time instead of on foot? Could have been a very different story. But yeah, going back and forth. I like to call this the do-si-do, the merry-go-round. You know, they just keep swapping back and forth. And we're going to be looking for, I don't know, maybe a level 10 Dragon Knight at this rate?
How both these teams are playing right now, I don't see DK getting picked up anytime soon, but I could be wrong. As you can see here, Barrel Boys has it in their possession. I mean, if they could just get someone, but then again, there they go and lose it, and Happy Fairy Dragons takes back down bottom.
So, a little bit of time here. We're about to hit 7, but what are some of the talents before that? A lot of poke going back and forth. Illidan with the Seasoned Marksman into the immolation, not the evasion shield. So, you know, as time goes on, he's going to start hitting harder and harder, but he does pay for that with a little bit of that survivability. You know, ETC doing all right. Melting Point coming out here for our Tychus, so it's not going to be a pure overkill build. And multi-shot Vala, we do got the Gathering Power for Trummel this round. And the double healing wards for the dragons. Or sorry, for the barrels.
As you can see, level 7s, they both have it, both teams. So they're starting to pick. As you can see on Vala, the pretty much the multi-shot build gets with the battle momentum.
Yep.
So from what I'm seeing, it's pretty standard from what most times would be picked.
Static charge from Tassadar to do a little bit of that extra damage. Now, as I said, we're not really looking for this quick, early Dragon Knight. You know, very likely still not to see it for a little bit. But a lot of the tower damage going down for the Barrel Boys has put them in a bit of an experience advantage. We don't really have a lot of return damage coming out from the Happy Fairy Dragons. And now, Sray got himself a regen orb that top lane. And Erho's like, all right, there's Illidan right there. They're still going to go for the body blocks. And, well, the body blocks are starting to hit pretty hard. We don't have a healer for this Stitches, but we do got a Cotton Luck coming in. It's not going to be kills, but they're trying to apply pressure. Unfortunately, we're just not really getting much out of this.
As you can see, the Happy Fairy Dragons, now they do have control of this shrine. Caution Luck's going in for it. He's going to be able to get it.
Lynx is capturing that top, so all he has to do is get a few auto attacks and, of course, the Psy Storm, and it will be enough. It's really hard to take a point by yourself earlier on with a Tassadar. Even 2 or 3v1, he can really delay that summon.
Yeah, he can keep poking until there's enough time to actually capture Shrine back and turn it back into somewhat of a lane push phase.
So once again, you know, I don't really see any kind of damage on the gates here from the barrels, whereas in pretty much every lane, they have been consistently pushing up against the dragons, and now we have level 10 compared to the 9. It does look like a little bit of a skirmish, perhaps into this bottom lane. Inkling is going to be really far deep. 4-man hype coming out. That Ravenous and the Rain of Vengeance is enough to bring down the Uther, and the hook on top of Panda to boot. Lynx is there, but there's really no other kind of damage to keep this going. We did hit 10 in ghost form, and Uther with the Divine for the stall, but that should once again, you know, I might be a prophet. It might be a level 10 Dragon.
It very well could be. As you can see down here on bottom, Barrel Boys has the whole gate taken off, and that actually helped them secure one of the kills that they got on that from the Uther, and it was just a good play from Barrel Boys altogether.
Don Lu going to be heading all the way down into the bottom lane. They're looking for McIntyre. McIntyre is not going to be getting out of that one. A really nice collapse. I'm a little surprised Stitches didn't go for the top point at all. He sat and soaked in lane, and now he's thinking, all right, now I got to go get this shrine. So the Dragon was never really a plan here for the Barrels. They had a good push going bottom. They had the bruisers. They had the level advantage, but the collapse there from the Happy Fairy Dragons almost brings us actually to par with experience. In fact, I'd say they have even a little bit of an advantage after that.
I'd have to agree with you. And another thing that it ends up doing is with the control on the map. I mean, they're just playing this so well with keeping their experience up from both teams here, doing a very well job knocking each other off. And that's a lot of things that you see nowadays with the DK is you don't always have to go for it. Sometimes it's better just to not even worry about it and try and secure that that kill.
Level 12 now coming back and forth. We do got some pings into this bottom lane saying, get out of there, guys. Zombie wall on top of Coffin Luck. Does he not have the run and gun? He doesn't. He is just going to get melted under this 4-man gank. That's going to be it for the Mercs on top of it as well. So little bit of a misplay from Coffin Luck and a great collapse from the Barrels. They're going to get this bottom shrine. Looks like Stitches, no problem in that top. But Uther is there to guard the mid at this point. And, well, actually, the top is going to go the way of Dawn. Once more, Airhost saying not interested. And, I don't know, perhaps faked it out a bit.
Yeah, up top, they're just kind of fighting back and forth for it. Nothing, as you can see, a little slap fight going on up there.
The wet noodles.
But the wet noodles, yep. And
Trummel.
see, Trumbull's actually coming up now.
Yeah, he didn't do anything good with the zombie wall. So, well, that hook could be actually it for Don Lu. Nothing to stop the stage dive. Not entirely sure where he stage dived to off the top of my head. Base? No, he's okay. Mid. Yeah,
Yep.
Mid fort. But we do got now. Well, we did have the double shrine ready to go, and once again we're saying nope, nope, nope. A little bit of a push bottom, then coming out Panda Jigu and Inkling. They got to be careful of a collapse, but you know they might be able to actually get some of the tower here.
Yonda's pretty low at the moment with not a lot of mana. Healing Ward does go down. As you can see, 3 are now down here with Blinks, just pushing them back off the shrine.
Inkling's gonna get locked up, but he is Uther, their own healing ward to come out as well. Self-healing and the Malfurion. It's really hard to kill an Uther anyways, but the Malfurion in his pocket, yeah, best of luck. Don Lu goes straight back to the top. He's gonna be doing his best on soaking, and level 14 achieved, no dragons either side in a very close game.
It's still up for grabs for this game. I mean, it's not snowballed or anything like that. They're both in even terms here. Barrel Boys has been pushing a little bit harder in the lanes with taking down the bottom gate. Mid gate's almost down, and top gate's completely down also.
Yeah, that's the difference between the teams right now in terms of, like, the experience is basically neck and neck, but the siege damage is pretty overwhelming for... I see what you mean by the ETC thing. Like, those auto attacks on the ETC model are really weird from Blinks.
Have you seen it?
I just saw it now. Yeah. It just, like, it kind of warps around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange. All right. Visual model aside, Kionda is going to be a big target here. He doesn't have Prescience. He has Shrink Ray, so he doesn't have the double dimensional warp. He is going to drop. Level 15 is here. Don Lu is holding down the top as best he can, but he's about to get outnumbered, and he's not going to just risk a death at this point. So this has been one heck of a dance with these shrines. The Dragon got to be real pissed at these teams.
He's just waiting to wake up, and nobody wants to get him out of his slumber. It's I feel bad for the guy.
He's Sleeping Beauty. Who's going to be Prince Charming at this point? Will it be a Happy Fairy Dragon, or will it be a Barrel? We're not entirely sure, but Trummel is going to be some big DPS here. Sray not really getting the best of the Metamorphosis, but he will live through that. That's going to be a hook, though, on top of Inkling and that Vial. That will for sure be the death of Uther with that Ravenous coming out, and he's going to claw away a bit at the battle count, but that will be it. If we can get this point, we might have the positioning for the Dragon, but once more, these teams not really interested, it seems, as we're going to 16 now, Messiah.
Just to recap over what we just saw before, that hook was just amazing, along with the Rain of Vengeance and the Ravenous just coming out and securing that kill. As you see back up here, Airho with the Barrel Boys are just pushing here, and they're going to secure that top keep.
A little bit of pressure will be applied bottom with the siege golems now actually applied. That fort was absolutely toast with that 5-man pressure. Now you can see the roam coming in, the train, the barrel train, the barrel hype train barreling down into the bottom lane. It's actually really interesting to see, but overall, no real advantages either side. I mean, that's the first fort down, Messiah, at the 11-minute mark. All the experience so far has literally just been creeps and the few kills that we have on the board.
Like you said, it's pretty much at this point a do-si-do game. It's just going back and forth at this point. I mean, no one's Barrel Boys and Happy Fairy Dragons are not really even worried about the DK at this point. I mean, somebody needs to show him some love soon.
As I said, you know, Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, yeah.
We're waiting for Prince Charming. We do got some Bruiser hype to go into the top lane. It looks like the teams are also now going to be collapsing, looking to finish up the bottom Bruisers now as well. Oh, but Malfurion got caught by the Rain of Vengeance, and that is going to be a big detriment because this could possibly be the team fight we're looking for. Cotton Luck in the back, not looking so hot. That's going to be a sprint from the Uther to get to safety. Don Lu looks like he's deflecting everything with his guitars, but that is going to be him down now, and the Ravenous once more for the hat trick on top of the Uther. 5 still up for the Barrels. They get a 3-man wipe. They doubled their kills in one fight. And it looks like they're not even bothering the DK. They said, we can push or we can get a DK and push. Why bother with the knight?
And just real nice clutch plays from Barrel Boys is to see here, the problem with Happy Fairy Dragons is someone keeps constantly getting caught out in these fights and putting them at a disadvantage the whole time. Along with it looked like Uther actually missed his Divine Storm. I could be wrong about that, but a total miss on Barrel Boys, and Barrel Boys just secures the victory there. And you know, now they're just doing some mercs, clearing some waves, and just gonna repeat.
Yep, some mercs now going to be on the dockets. We do have 16 for both teams. There is a little over a level difference between them, but you know, those are the full talent builds. We got double imposing presence. The ETC and the Uther both opting to go that route, and you know, so far hasn't worked for them. But you know, another fight, another day. Blinks will drop. That Divine Storm definitely hit. And doesn't look like there's really going to be too much else of a recourse here. We are really defending out this mid from the Happy Fairy Dragons. They're going to find Erho now by himself. He doesn't have a bolt, and he cannot get through this body block scenario. He's now actually going to be stuck in the zombie wall. It goes immediately down, but here's the stage dive. That should be it for Kionda as well. Doesn't have that prescience and doesn't have the dimensional shift at 16. He went for the second strike. So just like that, 3 more kills, and we're tied for the amount, and this could actually be the first Dragon Messiah.
I'm thinking it's going to be, as you can see, Mouth is up top on Panda. He's taking that. Down bottom is Stray on Illidan. We have, in the middle, we have 3 of them up still on Happy Fairy Dragons, and just Trumbull and McIntyre getting pushed back. And there's the DK, 14-minute mark, 14.5-minute mark.
So much for the level 10 Dragon. Let's go all the way to 18. Trummel, just see ya later, bro. And these auto attacks, 760 per. They're really going to start shredding down this fort. Illidan's back at home, just kind of dealing with a little bit of the cleanup. They have to, of course, be aware of the catapults back there. And Cotton Luck, you know, as I said, they shred down the fort. It looks like they're going to try to transition top. If they can get all 3 forts, I think that will put them in the lead for the level 20 race, because that is coming to its conclusion in the next few moments.
It looks like if they do secure that, they should be in the lead on it. Now, another thing that hurt Barrel Boys was the fact that Blinks actually died prior to that fight going on. And another thing with how we were talking earlier, Erho on the Stitches, I mean, he is big, so if you're getting body blocked by other players like ETC on Happy Fairy Dragons, it's gonna hurt.
I'm a little surprised that we're going as passive as we are. I mean, Illidan was super far away from this fight. There's no split pushing going on, despite the fact that all 5 barrels are into this top lane, and they're not pushing for forts. Cotton Luck is actually retreating with the dragon. Huh.
Well, the dragon timer was a little bit low on that. I'm thinking they could have actually taken mid, top lane of the fort, but they decided to kind of just play it safe.
He gets immediately found. That's going to be immediately as well the metamorphosis. Here comes the stage dive as well. The cups are up, the cups are down. The back line is getting chased off, but Stray has already used all of his tricks. He's so low, but he's still going to live through it. Oh, I can't say the same though for Inkling. He does get the stun on top of the Ravenous, and somehow Don Lu was able to survive that as well. One kill, but it's going to be the second here, as Malfurion is not going to live through that. And actually, I have my doubts that Coffin Luck is going to be okay as well, but there's a creep wave there to block out the hook. I don't know why they went as passive as they did with the Dragon, but it has definitely come back to haunt them. Level 20 and 2 kills for the Barrels.
So overall, Barrel Boys actually was able to achieve level 20 first. Huge advantage of them. And as you can see here, they have their 20s, and Happy Fairy Dragons are only starting to pick them. So Barrel Boys pushing as much as they can here. Are they going to secure this, do you think?
There's no healers on the board for the Fairy Dragons. I mean, they can poke and they can prod, but they're not going to kill anything. Not with a healing ward down, not with Blink still ready to go. And that is for sure going to be the second keep. Now, Dragon should be coming back up momentarily. It hasn't been, there it is. And it's because it hasn't been really that long, but still, one team fight could be game for either side at this point.
Yeah, this match is not over by any means,
Wait,
especially in Heroes.
Now, hold the phone. ETC went Fury of the Storm. Yep.
Interesting.
That's all you have to say? Interesting? No blow up? Messiah, come on, I'm throwing you a bone here, brother.
I know.
All right. My very first Fury of the Storm game, and
Let's see how it goes.
man, Sray used that metamorphosis to get out of dodge, but he didn't get any hit points out of it. Now that's left Don Lu into the back. He's by himself. Now Sray, he's gonna be trying to chase down Trummel. There goes the Hurricane. Coffin Luck is getting some big damage on top of Blinks, and you know what? I think they might have broken the barrels here. Here comes the Ravenous, but there's not gonna be enough damage or space for Trummel to get it out. Sray could actually drop, gets the clutch heal from the Uther. Trummel's dead. McIntyre has a sliver of hit points, and it looks like he and Stitches will live to tell the tale, but this is a great position for the Barrels, for the Dragons. After that massive loss on a team fight, they come back swinging, and they could really, really use that Dragon Knight this time.
And I think that they're definitely going to achieve the DK again on this. For that fight, to recap how it went over, that is such a tight spot up there that it's rough to try and do a team fight in something like that, how especially the team comps and everything like that. But as you can see, Happy Fairy Dragons, they do secure that DK, and they're going to try and push as hard as they can.
I have to wonder, how clutch is that Fury of the Storm from Don Lu? Was that what they needed? Was that the extra damage? Messiah, I don't know at this point, but it is a heck of a pick. The death timers are virtually up. I'm not confident we're going to get a keep on the back of this one because we do have the Saints marching in. You know what? Actually, I got to take it back. That auto attack is massive. 920 damage. And Coffin Luck, he unfortunately gets rooted out trying to duck out of this one. That is Tychus in there. Remember, they're going to be looking to collapse on him, but the knockback looks like it's going to be enough. Here comes the stage dive, ETC from afar. The metamorphosis so much better from Stray that time. And here comes as well the Tychus Odin on the back of it all. That's going to be a hook. Coffin should be okay. We got a big Ravenous into this back there, and you know, Coffin gets so much healing out of it. The Ravenous is just not making its mark, and it looks like the Happy Fairy Dragons are going to be able to disengage at least a little bit, and yeah, it will finally just get out of that one. No deaths, but they got the key.
That was amazing work there on both sides of Happy Fairy Dragons and Barrel Boys. I was expecting, you know, at least someone to die in that, but everyone was doing their part, doing excellent. And very, very well done. Now it's just going to be back to doing mercs, clearing the board, and going over objectives.
Objectives is, well, I mean, yeah, after the death of a dragon, what's left on the board? Well, you're going to be looking for those points. Will it be blue? Will it be red? So far, they are kind of trading out. Looks like the barrels will get this bottom bruisers. Somebody actually just asked, what's the level 20 talent here for Lily? It's Kung Fu Hustle. Triple cooldowns every time you basically hit her for a little bit. So it's a pretty clutch kind of talent, because it's on a proper fight, you can start putting out the cups, and if you take a heck of a lot of damage, you can almost have another one up within 20 seconds. It's pretty ridiculous.
You see here, Barrel Boys just cleaning up mid. Looks like they're going to end up maybe possibly going up top. Yep, they're going up top to clear that death wave of minions right there also.
Fury of the Storm. I really want to see, was that intentional? Was that a misclick? Is this like super secret OP? Don Lu. Okay, so I had a talk with Average Adam from the TGN Army one day about Fury of the Storm. You can really clean up Merc waves. And Don Lu has been consistently going back to do that. So this is totally a 100% on point pick, because he has the global pressure with the stage dive. He can go back and defend and still initiate on the fights for the Faerie Dragons. It's for sure not a standard pick, at least in this meta, but my goodness, is it working?
It's like you're saying, I definitely want to see how if it was a misclick or if it's what he wanted to pick, but it's working for him. And right now that Happy Faerie Dragons, they are ahead in the EXP. They have Barrel Boys pushed back. Remember, they were there doing their knights a couple seconds ago, but Happy Faerie Dragons ended up pushing them back. And now for Barrel Boys, DK is up. I don't see them grabbing this though.
I have the damage numbers up just since we have a little bit of downtime. No, they're not. They're for sure not going to get that. The top shrine did go to Don Lu, because Don, of course, can do these splits, can do this pressure elsewhere, because he does have that stage dive available to him. But some ridiculous numbers going down. Like Lily's up to 58,000 kills. We got 88,000 and counting for our Malfurion. Some damage numbers are looking insane as well. 63,000, 60,000, 55,000. So these teams have been working overtime looking for these wins, and it's still basically neck and neck. We have a bit of an edge for the Faerie Dragons. They do got that level 23. Of course, that does increase the base stats of the characters just a little bit more. But my word, has this been a very close game.
It's been a close game this whole match, and as of right now, I mean, Barrel Boys, they do have the slight advantage with the amount of keeps that are still up in their favor, but that doesn't mean pretty much anything, because that core is exposed. I mean, they do have one down in the center lane, and Barrel Boy's just going back and forth, clearing lanes and trying to see about setting something up here.
So I'm focusing Don Lu here as I'm just keeping an eye. That 500 auto attack AoE is ridiculous, but they're going to need him now. Sray's going to get caught. He's going to throw down his metamorphosis, so he becomes a demon on top of a demon. Here comes Don Lu as well. Sray does get denied with that bolt. We have the Ravenous just starting to march away. Vala, however, is going to go down. There goes the Uther as well. The four-man cluster now going to be jumping on top of Erho. Trummel going to be rejoining the fight after that entire Ravenous duration. Erho's not looking so hot. He is going to drop, and now Kianda and Trummel on the retreat. Kianda only has the one way out, and it looks like he's going to be okay. The sprint from Trummel will get him out of dodge, and it was a 2-for-1 by the end of it, Messiah. This could be the death push we were looking for.
And Happy Faerie Dragons just pulling ahead in that fight. And, I don't want to make any speculations, but I'm definitely going on the ETC with the Fury of the Storm. That's a new meta FourCourt. That's for sure.
So we do actually have, I forgot, way back in the day, we have Seasoned Marksman for Illidan, so it's not going to look so great on the overlay, but 59 bonus auto attack damage for Illidan as Malfurion gets absolutely murdered bottom the three-man collapse. So 59 extra auto attack damage puts Illidan at 243 auto attacks. That's hitting pretty hard at this point. And here comes the rest of the fairies. They're looking for exactly what the barrels are doing, but looks like they're just going to be content to play do-si-do with the shrines.
It's going to be a lot of dancing back and forth, just poking here and there, cleaning waves. Happy Faerie Dragons, they're definitely staying in this. They want to secure this win so we can go to round 3. So,
wait, I think Nazebo capped out his death ritual. It's at 200 stacks, 1,000 bonus health, 600 bonus mana. didn't know you could cap it out. And wow, there we go. The map positioning was enough. Malfurion is still dead in the water, and Trummel is going to get the first Dragon Knight here of the barrels. This is a scary position.
Yeah, especially right now, 26 minutes into the game, DK up. This is when the DK is at its strongest. I want to see how this is going to play in.
Yeah, so we do have some damage going down. Malfurion has joined the battle. Don Lu is chasing off McIntyre in the back, but Trummel's going straight for the core. Little bits of damage are coming down here and there, and the stun was massive with that Divine Hurricane. The core, however, is dropping so very fast. The 26-minute Dragon does not care whatsoever for the team fight, and that, my friends, is GG, as it's going to be the Barrel Boys victory, 2-0. Here for the ESL Americas Go4Heroes Cup number 13. Woo! The Barrel Boys victory.
Wow.
They deserve that one, man. Like, wow, so very well played. A bit of a longer game, but we got to see some really cool things.
Yeah, we did, especially from ETC. A couple of the team fights that were out there. Like we said, pretty much the game was neck and neck pretty much the whole game. And it just so happened at the end that with Malf down and Barrel Boys claiming the DK hitting on the core. I was watching the core go down. That was 1,200 a swing I saw from the DK, and that's a lot. It's a lot of damage.
I mean, the core has what, like 20 grand to 20 to 30,000 health or something silly like that. It doesn't scale, but the Dragon Knight certainly does. We found out in a Heroes Hype match back in the Amateur League on Wednesday that you can take a 30-minute Dragon, brush right past through everybody, and just focus core. And that's almost what we just saw right here. Trummel went right through everyone, got stunned out by the Divine Hurricane, and that was about it. I mean, the auto attacks were enough, the pressure was enough, even without McIntyre on that front line because he got chased off by Don Lu. It was enough. So this is the first time I've seen the Happy Fairy Dragons lose on Dragonshire, but what a match, man. The Barrel Boys with the 2-0. They get first place and $100 with the first place seeding. It's well deserved.
Yeah, congrats to Barrel Boys and their victory. And hopefully we'll see Happy Fairy Dragons in the future. And hopefully, you know, they can get the top.
So today, guys, we saw the biggest NA bracket here for the Go4Heroes Americas, 26 teams. We saw some upsets. We saw some of these more adventurous amateur teams trying to make it in big. Happy Fairy Dragons defeated Evil Geniuses and Cloud9 Vortex, but couldn't take a game from the Barrels. We saw You Forced My Hand in this, Lunatic Esports. Evil Geniuses, of course, they made it all the way to the semis, dropped down. They will finish fourth due to forfeit from Magikarp. So Magikarp will take third, Happy Fairy Dragon second, and of course the Barrels first. A lot of hype there in the chat, a lot of spam. It's great to have all of you here on stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, but we are done. That is it. Messiah, thank you so much for stepping in for Mr. Shane Gutscher. He had some in real life stuff to attend, and your insights here were very much appreciated. Where can people find you if they like what they see, like what they hear?
I usually stream. It depends with my schedule right now, but you can find me at twitch.tv/Messiah, and I'll actually post it in chat after we get out of here. Sure. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Messiah with 2 H's. I'll post that also. And that's where you can find me. And I hope in the future, FourCourt will have me back. And
always welcome here, sir.
Shoutcasting some more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Heroes content in the future. You're more than welcome to join me. And, you know, we play a lot of games together. Maybe we'll create some movies there as well. Once again, we had some record numbers here today. Some phenomenal day for Heroes. Thank you again so much for joining us here, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you see or hear, or you just want to get used to my hat, you know, hit the buttons. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. FourCourtJester. People can't see that because you're too low.
Oh, they can't.
There you go. The Heroes. Yeah, we got the Heroes
hero shirt
today.
Gotta wear them.
It's good stuff. All right, that is it. We are done. We will see you. I will see you Wednesday for the Heroes Hype Amateur League, and then Sunday for the Go4Heroes Cup number 14. We also have the monthly finals on Saturday. I believe Solid Jake and crew will probably be heading that up. So there's a lot more Heroes coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the buttons and have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We will see you in the Nexus. And have yourselves a wonderful night.